Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of important information to share with you here today, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else who you think may find this information helpful over the course of the coming week. I hope everyone had a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving this past week, particularly where we were able to go back to having full Thanksgivings again in many cases compared to last year. And I've got my orange and black on, not only because the Wildcats had their annual Thanksgiving game at Quabbin on Wednesday night, but I also wanted to start off by saying a very special congratulations to the Gardner High School cheerleading squad who made it to nationals. They competed at the state finals this past week and scored high enough to be able to go down to Dallas, Texas for the national championship at the end of January. So congratulations to our Gardner High School cheerleaders, and we'll be rooting for you as you head down to Dallas in a couple months. We want to start by reminding people that it is Small Business Month here in the city of Gardner, while the Saturday after Thanksgiving is traditionally known as Small Business Saturday nationwide. Council President Elizabeth Kaczynskis and I have proclaimed Small Business Month here in the city, and that means that from traditional Small Business Saturday all the way through the end of December, we are celebrating our local small businesses here in the city. So please feel free to stop by and support our local businesses who have been there for us throughout the pandemic, even with the challenges that they have been facing there, to support our local youth sports programs, our charities, our school programs. When we need them, they've always been there for us, and now it's our chance to give back to them and say thank you at the end of the year as we're going out. So while you're doing your Christmas shopping or getting ready for the holiday season, please do try to take a moment to get out and support our local businesses that we have here in the city of Gardner that really help make us special in who we are. With that said, too, Sunday is also Small Brewers Sunday nationwide, so try to stop by the Gardner Ale House and support Moon Hill Brewing that's there. That's also sold at Anthony's Liquor Mart down on Pearson Boulevard. Council President Elizabeth Kaczynskis and I also did sign that proclamation, and that video will also air on the city's Facebook page this coming Sunday as well for Small Brewers Sunday. We've got a lot to offer here in Gardner that sometimes it just becomes so familiar to people that it just, kind of fades in the back of people's minds. But we are lucky enough to have our own TV station, radio station, college, hospital, bike path, movie theater, the two growing hospital facilities that we have, the restaurants, Timpani Crossroads. There's a lot to offer here that we just get used to. So try to reorient yourself with what exactly we have here and how lucky we are to have the amenities that we have here in Gardner as you start planning for different gifts and items for the Christmas season that comes up. And while presents are not the real meaning behind the holidays that are there, if you are giving someone a gift, try to see if you can make it a local gift. We have Giving Tuesday coming up this Tuesday as well, with the post-Thanksgiving theme days, as you will. So we wanted to just remind people that we have a couple different donation bins here at our city buildings. Here in City Hall, we've got a toy bin being sponsored by the Gardner High School National Honor Society. They're collecting toys for the Gardner CAC. That bin will be here up until December 3rd, and they're looking for donations of unwrapped toys to be given out to children in need during the upcoming Christmas season. Up in our community development department, we have a bin for a clothing drive for the Gardner CAC as well, so that they can give out different items of clothing to people who are in need, particularly so that they can stay warm during the winter months. Coats, hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, socks, things of that nature. The Gardner Police Department and the Gardner Fire Department have partnered together to join the family down on Brookside Drive that does their annual Christmas light show. And on December 4th, they'll be over on Brookside Drive doing a toy drive as well. It'll also go to benefit the CAC, and that will be Police Department, Fire Department's version of the Toys for Tots program. So please make sure if you've got any free time on December 4th from 5 to 8 p.m., they'll be doing that toy drive there, and you get a light show with it as well. And then over at our DPW, our assistant director, also known as the senior engineer's position, Neil Weiner, is new to the city this year. He comes to us from working previously for the town of Rutland's water department. Every year, the first week of December, camps out on the front lawn of Rutland Town Hall, which is his hometown. And no matter the weather, he stays in that tent, and it's to raise awareness for homeless veterans in the area. And what he does is he uses his tent as a donation location for people to bring items that Veterans Incorporated in Worcester can give out to Worcester County's veterans outreach programs to help make sure that if a veteran is in need or if there's a homeless veteran living in the area, that they can have access to items to help them stay healthy. So that's socks is one of the number one things he looks for. It's hats, gloves, coats, toothbrushes, toothpaste, different hygiene items to help them in their day-to-day things. So you can either stop by the DPW and bring those donations to Neil directly, or if you are around between December 3rd and December 10th, he'll be camping in front of Rutland's Town Hall as well. I'm very proud that we have a city employee who kind of takes that initiative there. And to show how serious he takes it, last year when we had the blizzard the week after Thanksgiving, he stayed out in his tent, and his tent collapsed on him from the amount of snow that was falling and was on the roof of the tent. And he just pitched a new tent, and he stayed next to that old tent until he could shovel it out, and he stayed there. Like last year, I'll be joining him on the town common in Rutland for a night as well, so we can help our local veterans in the area. So if you're interested in any more information on that, contact Neil at the DPW. And then through December 12th, the Massachusetts State Police and the Gardner Police Department will be sponsoring a donation bin for Gardner High School students in need. Again, clothing, toothpaste, toothbrushes, hygiene items, things of that nature. There's a box for that in the lobby of the Gardner Police Department, and the police department will work with the high school to make sure that that can go to the students who can't afford those items and are in need during this Christmas season. This coming Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning, November 30th, Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, Secretary Michael Keneally from the Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development, and Director Dan Rivera from Mass Development will be in the city of Gardner to celebrate our MassWorks grant that we received. That is the $4.1 million that are going towards the Rear Main Street Revitalization Program. And then also announcing every statewide winner for the Underutilized Properties Program, which is a new grant program that the Commonwealth launched to help cities and towns deal with properties that are in historic, character-building type locations in the city that, you know, people see and they recognize and have memories of that place being around when they were growing up, but they've fallen into disrepair due to issues of absentee landlord or high costs of refurbishing, so that cities and towns can help private sector developers come in and really bring those back up to code so that we can fix a building, so that we can stop the problem before it gets to the point where we have to tear it down, like we've seen with several of the other buildings, like the Mackey building that just was not savable at that point. So we're very excited to be receiving one of these grants. And while we can't talk this week about the program that's being funded through the grant that we're receiving or how much we will be receiving, it is well over $1 million, and it is something that's going to really help the downtown Gardner area. So I want to thank the Baker-Polito administration for their continued support of our local cities and towns and making sure that our local officials have the tools that we need to be successful in trying to deal with the problems that we're dealing with on our own way of thinking of things rather than through a state run and administered program. So I want to thank the Baker-Polito administration for the continued commitment to all of us here. This coming Sunday, we have our annual tree lighting and holiday stroll that'll take place beginning at 4:30 p.m. on the front steps of Gardner City Hall. We'll parade down to Lafayette Park, down on Oak Street and Parker Street, and light the Christmas tree located behind the Spanish-American War Monument. So thank you very much to Gardner Square 2 for organizing that event. This is done in conjunction with the Memorial Lights campaign, and there is still time that if you would like to donate to have a light in memory or in honor of someone, you can pick up a form either here at Gardner City Hall, at John's Sport Shop, or the Velvet Goose, and drop off that form in any of those locations or the drop box in front of City Hall, and we'll be sure to get you added to the list as well. Again, all funding collected this year goes to paying to make sure we have enough Christmas lights to put up in the city next year. And if we get a little more, we may be able to expand where we're offering some Christmas lights next year, and not just, at Lafayette Square, at Monument Park, and in front of Bullnose Park in the downtown as well, but in some other locations in the city. So please feel free to consider donating to that event as well. We are doing our annual Caroling with the Mayor event this year in 2 separate locations. 2 weeks before Christmas, we will have our annual in-person Caroling with the Mayor making its return after last year having to go fully virtual due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We'll start at Gardner City Hall and then carol through the downtown businesses. And then we will also be doing a virtual Caroling with the Mayor, again, due to the very strong response that we received from people asking for it to be virtual again, particularly people who used to live in Gardner who really only come every now and then to visit family but are still very interested in seeing their old city. So if you would like to participate, please feel free to email pictures of either your favorite snow scenes or Christmas time pictures here in the city of Gardner to my aide, Colin Smith, at csmith@gardner-ma.gov, or send us videos of you just saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you'd like to say as a Christmas message, and you can email those to Colin as well at that same email. We really want to make this a community video to be put together, so please consider participating in that as well. And then on Monday, November 29th, our City Council will be meeting to discuss a couple financial items. The first thing on the docket is the tax classification hearing. The City Council votes every year to decide whether we do a single tax rate or a split tax rate. What that means is if we have a single tax rate, that commercial properties and residential properties are taxed at the same rate, or as if it's a split rate, businesses are taxed a little higher than residential rates. We in Gardner have traditionally done a single tax rate, and that is the proposal before the City Council to help make sure that we are staying as friendly to our business community as we can to help try to attract more businesses to the Gardner area. On top of that, they'll also be voting on what's called the supplemental budget. That means that at the same time the tax rate is set, we'll be able to add to the budget that was passed in June. Some of our revenues are coming in well higher than we originally budgeted for. Our new growth numbers are coming in about double and change from what we originally budgeted for back in June as revenue. Now, what new growth is, that's increased tax revenue that comes in because a building was constructed after the budget was passed, or someone added extra additions onto their house that caused it so that that valuation of that house increased more than just regular valuation trends. So we budgeted about $150,000 in new growth, and we're up to over $325,000 now. So we've got a lot of strong revenue trends that way, so we're able to do the supplemental budget. Some of the things that are included in that is a new staff member for our water and sewer departments to help us comply with the new regulatory requirements that the EPA and DEP have placed on the City of Gardner with our reporting. Now that we have a regional veterans department, we are required to have additional staff members by law in our veterans department, and different other things like that that we are adding to the budget to get ready for the next budget that we're going to start making soon before we put that before the City Council next year. So if you hear any of those terms coming up, new growth, supplemental budget, tax classification, and you have any questions, please feel free to give my office a call so we can answer all of those questions for you. Right now, it is looking like, pending all approvals from the City Council, that our tax rate will drop from $20.08 to $18.59 per $1,000 of valuation on your house. So if your house is assessed at a certain amount, per every $1,000 it's assessed, the tax rate would be $18.59. So that'll happen on Monday evening as well. And I'd like to close just by wishing all of our Jewish residents a happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah begins this Sunday night at sundown and goes for the 9 consecutive days after that. There will be a menorah in the rotunda of Gardner City Hall as well. But we'll speak again next week. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you're all ready for the Christmas holiday season. And please feel free to participate in any of those events that we went through here today. And until we speak again next week, I hope you have a great day, have some fun time with your families, enjoy what we have here in the city, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you very much.